the drafts without those hard go buttons.
Okay.
Game 1, Game 2, where Inspired was playing Jarvan and Malphite, they looked really dominant overall. Game 3 and Game 4, it was a different story.
So this is interesting because you just mentioned the Malphite in the hands of Inspired. He's used good setup around that area of a mount, but Blabber actually sneaks back in.
He's still waiting now. The Shockwave is ready to go. APA stepping forward, immediate point-blank range on the Shockwave. The second time's the charm, and it's first blood over to APA.
Who said it's not scary just walking at them? And
You just don't want to admit it.
I also play it. But I am down with the Blappa because even APA actually last night he tweeted out Blappa duo with so APA and Blabber are.
It's a canon event.
Oh yeah,
okay.
They are fully on board, and that duo striking first here, it really just is fitting because one of the biggest stories for Cloud9 obviously is APA joining the roster, and the synergy that everyone has talked about. This mid jungle has really been on point. It's been one of the things that has shined the brightest here for Cloud9, so they get their first blood off of it, and you know that's going to turn into Dragon for them as they rotate over, and you have the 3 grubs, and the alert goes to the top side. Taken over, you can see on the mini-map, they took over the ward coverage, and they chunked Vulcan hard!
Yeah, Vulcan's down to 500 HP, he tries to get away, the True Shot Barrage is not going to kill him, but Inspired surely is! He chases after him, and the wind becomes lightning, strikes him down. Now
Killed off, but in the picture-in-picture, Lion's not even going to try to contest here, despite the fact that they had that kill, because they were missing critical ultimates, and C9 held on to theirs.
Throughout this lower bracket run, they are fine giving up early dragons. Maybe this bottom side, though, under attack.
Yep, Pop Blossom onto Saint right there. Blabber's ready to follow it up, but Saint flashes away. Now C9 finds themselves overextended, and Blabber is trapped behind enemy lines. Lion's ready to reinforce with Dokla. Thanatos arrives, but he's already too late. As a team, the biggest individual advantage there being for Inspired on that jungle. Zinjao does have his Sundered Sky completed, getting close to the second item completion now as well, and he and the rest of Lion have control over the top side river. Saint is there helping DPS the Rift Herald. Bring up Inspired's comms, how he's the shot caller, he's the leader, he's the one who's always talking. We'll see if Lion can get away from this one though, as C9 looking for the dive on the Mega Gnar, and they chop Dokla down. Now with the Pop Blossom setting up the second one. Isles could also be in danger. Vulcan and Thanatos continue their chase, and the Blooming Burst takes Isles out of the picture. C9 pick up 2.
I mean, that time the combo was perfect. As soon as Dokla went forward with that crunch, he instantly gets ulted by the Malphite, then ulted by the Ambessa, burst down by C9. They get the tower, they get 2 kills, they reclaim the gold lead
Up to Lion to try to stop them from acquiring Soul Point, but again, it's what you all mentioned earlier. It's really hard for Lion to approach an objective.
2 souls.
All right, 2 souls, 2 mountains, 2 Malphites, and an Ambessa ulti over the wall, going after Dokla, who's trapped in Mininar form, trying to get away. Thanatos' pressure should be more than enough, but a nice defensive Mega Gnar across the map at the same time. C9's under pressure, Lion going in, looking to find the kill, while Dokla still runs away here in the top side. So C9 hasn't lost anybody in the bottom fight here just yet, but APA is under immense pressure. Inspired chasing after the mid laner, and he finds him. He's still alive. Lion are on the hunt, but Inspired finally falls. Blabber looks for a little bit more as Berserker wants to hunt down Vulcan. The last little bit of damage comes in from the auto attack. It's a double kill for the Ezreal. Dokla's coming back around. Remember, he never died in the top lane. Blabber and Thanatos have to try to get away, but Thanatos might just have his days numbered. Berserker does so much damage. Thanatos barely lives, but Berserker takes him out.
And the Lion squad already won the bottom side fight. Look at Inspired. He's the one who flashed.
How good Berserker has been and how he's created this advantage. I think that is really important because when we look back to last series, think about how C9's bot lane was looking. They were creating monstrous leads.
But critically, it makes his Sterix gauge pop, so if there is a big fight in the next 90 seconds or so, Dokla is going to be significantly easier to kill. The entire time, though, Inspired is taking out this Mountain Drake that's going to tie the Drakes up at 2-2 and bring this game even closer to absolute parity.
Yeah, Dokla's job is weak side over here, and you know he's able to clear the wave from Vulcan. You have to be very careful. When there's low health towers, sometimes those can be used as bait, but Berserker, he's just going to annihilate the tower. Ezreal, very safe. He's going to get up to the tower now. Lion.
Okay, Baron's already at half HP. Dokla's got the Gnar bar charged. He transforms into Mega, as now the TP will come through. Thanatos ready to join the fight. Inspired and Lion have the Baron down to 3,000 HP. Inspired jumps in. He wants to go for the combo. Sven's already down to 40%. Baron at 2.7k. Inspired not dead yet as the pressure's on Sven. APA's about to fall, and it's going to be claimed by Blabber. They got the Baron, but now they got to try to get out. Saint goes in for a big right shuffle. Dokla dies to Thanatos. Lyon continues trying to get away, and C9 hasn't lost a man. A double kill back over to Thanatos. He takes out Inspired. Berserker's on a rampage though, and the Ezreal still got plenty of HP. C9 still hanging around. They this close for this long. Generally, it's one big team fight that really warps things. 4,000 gold lead. The Mountain Drake soul point that they earned after the Baron was taken while we were in the replay. And now pressure in the bottom lane as C9 are looking to just battering ram their way into the base. And Lyon is nowhere nearby. They don't want to try to defend against this for now. They're going to sacrifice this first inhibitor as C9 will claim it for free. And it looks like they're going to keep moving forward. They're saying, Lyon, you have got to come answer this. C9 continuing to cautiously move up. True Shot Barrage only hits Blabber. APA taking the focus here from Inspired as C9 groups up to protect their mid laner. Inspired still looking for a little bit more, but he does get slowed down by the Malphite. Dokla's got the Gnar. Lyon used the Xin ulti. Dokla goes in, but he goes in alone. The Gnar is going to die behind enemy lines as APA takes the kill. Public execution from Thanatos is just about ready to kill Berserker, and the Blooming Burst writes his epitaph. Lyon in a 3v5. C9 on the hunt for Nexus turrets. Saint, Isles, and Inspired trying to defend, but C9 still has the Baron for a couple more seconds. They'll continue pushing forward. That first Nexus turret already about to die. Death timer still at over 30 seconds for the two dead Lions as C9 will now switch their attention back over towards mid lane and make their exit.
Yeah, man, Cloud9, they're going to demolish a few more plays here. Sven going to get the last one and open up the mid lane turret as well. Thanatos is recalling at the moment. I think it should be fine, but they're going another free kill!
The Wombo combo, Unstoppable Force plus Shockwave. Blink and you'll miss it.
Advantage. Oh, wow, thank you. They switch right back to the items perfectly. And we can see the Azir turret does go up, though, so defense for line. There's still possibilities, you know, it's not quite over yet. There is a Dragon Soul that is 40 seconds away, but there's still hope. Lyon trying still to find an opening, see if they can catch anyone, maybe with a lazy recall or splitting off from the squad. Now,
wait, hold on, Inspired jumps in. He wants to kill APA, but instead, the stasis protects the Orianna. Now Saint goes in for the follow-up shuffle, and APA is down. Lyon might have found their fight. Blabber's gonna flash away now too, as Inspired and Saint are about to drop. Sven's got the damage onto the Azir, and Blabber picks one up back onto Inspired. Dokla, Berserker, and Isles all on the run. C9 continue their push in a 4v3. Thanatos turns his attention immediately over to the Nexus turret, as Berserker fires back towards Vulcan. He nearly kills him, but close isn't good enough. Sven and Thanatos are ending the game. The Nexus is under pressure, and C9 takes game one. You're looking at the engage tools on Lyon being Aatrox, sweet spots.
I mean, both teams know it.
and Aphelios Gravitum gun. Like, there's not a lot here.
I will say, Saint had a really hard carry Ahri game, exceptional performance from him, and we
will scan for that throughout this game and see if we can succeed and get some more of those interviews throughout the day. That's another reason to hope that we get a full best-of-5 series. We'll get more interviews with more player families as Saint now back into the mid lane here. Nice hit on the charm with the Electrocute proc 2. APA's bone plating not going to give him a whole lot, and Saint with the flash to reposition the return of the Spirit Orb.
And you're low on health. APA is in a monstrous spot. He's going to crush that matchup. So big mistake for APA.
Yeah, but now it's C9 doing a two-man invade, going after Inspired, but Saint is ready to respond. Blabber does get pulled back. Sweet spot. Q3 Inspired is about to pick up another one, and C9 are blundering the Lyon got the solo kill, and then got the 2v2 outplay, and then got the enemy blue buff, and now they're getting the enemy red buff. They're also now getting an early Ocean Drake too. This is just total early game dominance from Lyon. Saint going in looking for another solo kill as APA
kills these last minions, and then you're tanking a little bit of extra minion damage in addition to the Ahri damage. Regardless, Blabber is going to go over and grab those Void Grubs. You know, first dragon to line is quite nice too. An Ocean Dragon early is always nice for the laners, but Thanatos goes for all out.
Yeah, Thanatos looking to try to get something back for C9 here in this doomed early game, but no, it's going to be Dokla ready to turn it around. Dokla gets the outplay, he'll secure the kill, and Blabber has to use his first Nocturnal.
Try to go for a dive here. Equalizer almost up, but there is no flash.
All right, APA does have Tibbers ready to summon. C9 just about have the wave ready to crash into the turret. Meanwhile, Inspired going for the play in the bottom lane here at the same time. C9 going to start their dive up there with the top side with Tibbers summoned up, and the burst goes down. Thanatos gets the kill as Vulcan drops here in the bottom lane right after. Inspired taking the kill as Ven's in a 1v3. He wants to try to get something back, but the Aatrox has the wild growth, the World Ender, and another kill. It's Lyon 5v2 in the game. They come out on top in the play. Saints back in mid to answer the wave push at the same time, and the gold lead is nearly 2,500.
Yeah, so first you saw the original play with Saint and Inspired hovering, waiting to try and trap someone if they came to Raptors, but nobody went there because APA is going top, and Inspired says, fine, if no one's going to come into your jungle, then I'll just dive bottom lane. That is still more worth.
Walking in your jungle, so you know if Nocturne's not top side, he's bot side. If Nocturne's not bot side, he's top side.
Okay, Inspired's on the approach, walks into the banana brush. APA dropping the Tibbers, ready to try to defend himself here. Paranoia used defensively. C9 do not...
trading with, so that has to be a misclick there from Dokla, because the Pathmaker interrupts it, the Q3 interrupts it, the All-Out interrupts it. There's just no world in which you press that intentionally.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a whoop. C9, you're happy that it hasn't gotten worse, but if you're Lyon, you're happy that you still have control over the game like you do. The Rift Herald is down to 1,400. It will be secured by Blabber and C9 as Inspired wanted to move up and try to steal it away. Equalizer dropped down. Blabber trying to escape. Saint on the hunt looking for APA. Berserker's got the Calibrum. Keep your eyes on the range. No, he misses the Moonlight Vigil. So C9...
Ghost and ult off Lulu plus the heal off Lulu. So a lot of tools there used, but Berserker survives. They knock down the tower. They keep that gold lead right.
Very okay with giving up early dragons for gold if it is a compromising position. You don't want to walk into this Cloud9 team. You probably just cannot walk into a Cloud9 team like this with an Annie, with a Nautilus, with so many tools to punish you. And so they say, fine, fine, fine. You're going to throw down the 5 people towards this dragon. You get it. We're going to take the tower instead.
Yep, and they are going to be...
Again, this is another massive item for this Aatrox, who kind of stands alone on the front line for Lyon. It gives you way better chances of being able to drain tank through some of the burst and the lockdown. As there's your equalizers. Ven already down to half HP. C9 trying to get away. World Ender coming out from Inspired. First Q hits the sweet spot, and C9 are all trying to flash out. Thanatos, defensive Pathmaker, wants to try to go all out, but instead he's buried in his own jungle. Lyon, see that? All right, APA. Can you get away from this one, because Saint is ready? All he's got to do is land the charm. The Annie ultimate doesn't do the job. Saint continues his dive forward, and Big Dokes has enough damage to finish it off. The summon Tibbers didn't hit
on to, you know, the... Wait a second, teleport up to the top side. Are they going to get chased down on Dokla?
They're definitely looking for it. You got Blabber up here as well. Equalizer already dropped. APA backing away. Dokla just trying to buy as much time as he can. C9 does not want to overcommit resources here. Ooh. So you wait up here as Lyon try to contest. The Tibbers still waiting over the wall from APA, using that for a little bit of scouting. Saint still making his way up. He's just about arrived to the fight. Watch Inspired, goes into World Ender, trying to make the approach here. He's caught with a wild growth as the dredge line finds its way to the back line, but Berserker's already got the kill onto Vulcan. C9 push forward, shut down on Berserker. The Aphelios is into the picture, but so is APA. Saint is on the hunt. The Ori is powerful, but Inspired is died. C9's looking for another one. Blabber might just fall. It's a double kill for Saints. Ori, this man does not want to lose, and Lyon, although it cost them casualties,
such a good turn. They're pulling him into these fights.
Vulcan waiting in the banana brush, seeing if there's an opportunity to land a hook and start a fight. Saint flying through the Hex Gate. APA is separated from the rest of the team. He's coming around for the Tibbers. They find a lot of burst on the Berserker, but he isn't dead here just yet. Now he is. APA with a kill. Sven is also dropped from the backside of the fight, though. Lyon's still ready to turn it. Dope was low, but he is not dead. Vulcan falls next, and Blabber dies too. A double kill of a Saint. Thanatos stands alone, but he will not stand long. 5 for 1.
The team can do while all the focus is on him. They've got multiple threats. Inspired here doing so much damage while everybody else is focused elsewhere. And Saint again on this Ari. Reset after reset after reset. Here we got to upgrade Medjai's Soul Stealer for this guy. Respect Saint's Ari, man. This is crazy. He's got the Zonias on top of it for the extra safety. So this is a very good Medjai's angle. 605. They're going for some extra damage here onto Thanatos.
Yep, they'll lock it down on top of the equalizer there with the Gravitum. Overheated Flame Spitter is more than enough DPS. Thanatos falls. That is by far the most durable member of the C9 squad. Lyon with their Baron for the next 2 minutes, with Thanatos dead for the next 45 seconds. They have every opportunity they want on Summoner's Rift to do whatever they want. They're going to push bottom with the large group. Saint Split pushing over in the mid lane. Vulcan dredge lines a minion and needs to immediately hoof it right back to the safety of the base. Lion's pressure continues.
Well, they want to even up the series, Flowers. That's what they want. And the siege here, as you say, with these baroned up cannon minions, look at them destroying the tower. Saint in mid lane, whacking this one down. Bot side has a little bit of a window here where you get rotation over from Sven and Vulcan, but that's just going to delay it. The buffed up cannons here will finish the job. One more shot. Mid lane is wide open.
The more explosive the fights can get. I mean, yes, obviously Lyon is massively ahead, but one pick can really change things. And despite the fact that they are
the Baron, C9, they know the area is pretty dark. They need to be careful, and Vulcan was not careful enough. Saint with the charm locks up the Nautilus, but they don't quite find the kill. Paranoia used defensively once more as Dokla looks for the equalizer and slows down C9's retreat. Now APA has to flash away just to barely stay alive, but Sven is already down. Vulcan's gonna follow. C9 only 3 alive, and Lyon want the rest of them. Dokla's dealing with Blabber. That Nocturne is nowhere near strong enough to do anything here. Berserker will snipe him down as APA can't escape the infernal chains, and Inspired drags him straight to hell. C9 lose everybody except for Thanatos, and Lyon are barreling down mid lane.
They strike back with a huge gold lead here. 12,000. Lyon are going to push us to 1-1, Flowers.
Thanatos will try to just make a little space, but that Pathmaker is not making much. The ace goes over to Berserker. Lyon bounce back in game number 2. The finals for lock-in are delivering, and we're gonna have our series all tied up 1-1.
And Saint in all chat hits APA with easy. How can
with
you...
the Nami, because you can get the slow to make it more damage off of your Q, where they made it harder to hit all of the parts of your Q, but they up the damage of it. So if the enemy is slowed and it's easier to hit all of it, they're going to get you know, a lot of value there, a lot of damage. So that is going to be dangerous as far as the bottom lane goes. We've got a lot of weapons down there.
Long read here. He was assuming that Inspired would have gone down towards his bot, crossed there to try to defend, and now it's a red buff on Inspired, and Blabber, he might just get chased down.
Yeah, Inspired is after him, and you do not beat Trundle in a duel like this. The Vault Breaker is interrupted, and this one's going to be donated over to Saint's Aurora so that he gets a blue. Mostly, once again, on Saint and Inspired. You can see Blabber is a full 3 camps behind in his jungle clears because of the fact that everything got disrupted so badly. As Saint goes in between worlds, APA only level 5 here on the Talia, trying to get away, but the twofold Hex comes
forward and trade auto attacks with you, and that is going to be in her favor.
And they've just been pushing the lane here. Priority on the bottom side. So thank you for the picture-in-picture. Blabber goes back afterwards after Dokla has to go. I guess you want the dragon. Fair enough. You can have it.
Yep, there's the... Hey, at least they're getting some leverage out of this Renekton that's been hard winning his lane. Rank 1, it's really tough. If you can end up, 25.93. That was I don't know if you guessed that or if you had looked at it beforehand, but I'm going to assume that you guessed it because that's a really good guess.
Thank you, Flowers.
He's just going to nod.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you got it figured out, as it looks like Thanatos has Lyon figured out here, tries to turn the burst back around onto Saint, but no, they brought in... As Blabber is down in the Dragon Pit, but there's no dragons.
And it is crazy for people who have been following the whole lock-in tournament as Big Dokes up here.
Yeah, Grim Deliverance looking to set this up. Dokla wants to go all the way underneath the turret. He flashes in. He's got the determination stacked all the way up, so he'll resurrect afterwards. And Big Dokes gets the big...
play weak side tanks and with a smile on their face. Honestly, though, the glow up from Lyon as a team, here we go.
Hold on, though. APA and Blabber finally finding their chance to make a play, and the shutdown on Saint is exactly what the doctor ordered for Cloud9.
There's your Vi and Talia that you ordered in Champion Select. Vi ult used and Aurora killed. Perfect timing there for Cloud9. They get in, they've got the vision set up, they have the people in the...
Got Inspired. with the bot lane duo. So much lockdown, so much pressure. Dokla is going to take out the tier players at the start of the year when all the pros were doing their race to the top of the ladder. Yozu and Cupik were a challenger duo who were constantly playing double mage bot. And now we'll see if Sven and Vulcan can survive the aggro from Lyon here in the mid lane. APA rides in and Sven gets the execute.
Bottom lane here is going to be shredding magic resistance as well. Sven goes for the pickup with the Bloodletter's Curse, which will be very...
And C9 seem to have absolutely no idea. Thanatos is wrapping around, maybe looking to make a play here in mid. C9 still unaware of the Baron. It's down to 1/3 HP. Now they're moving over. Baron down to 4K. Tidal Wave coming through. Inspired and Dokla both low. Thanatos makes his way into the pit. Blabber wants to try to steal it away. He flashes over the wall. But no, it's Dokla securing the Baron here for Lyon. But Inspired is already down, and Lyon's got to try to get
those games. Everybody get in the pit now! And the smites are going off, and the Baron...
For Blabber, he gets a smite off, but Dokla's damage comes through and steals that away from what would have been the 80 remaining health.
So one of the consequences of that after the
very squishy at this point of the game, and is going to be difficult for him in these fights.
All right, C9 will take out the tier 1 turret in the mid lane. That will be there. The clock is having a little bit of a problem right now. I don't know if it's 50 seconds or if it's 10 seconds. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow flies out, and it connects onto Thanatos. But the defense from Cloud9 is already there. They're trying to hold the line long enough, but Thanatos has already died. C9 falling back as Lyon find their pick, and Berserker hits his target dead on.
Yeah, the snipe from downtown and the assist to the pillar from Inspired to keep him there and make sure that it hits. Now, C9, 4v5. Can they pull it off? They're hoping for a steal. They're hoping to create some chaos here and get a soul out of it.
The only ultimates left up are Inspired Subjugate and Sven's Golden Eclipse. C9, they back away. They don't want anything else to do with this. It's a 4v5. They don't want to risk it.
I mean, this was just an incredibly risky spot. All of the CC that was landing on him and was obviously pretty heavily punished for that. Sven just trying to step forward and flex on him. Look at Dokla.
Yeah, Dokla coming around from the flank, but meanwhile the fight has already started. Blabber going in after Saint. The exhaust is there, but he goes between worlds and gets away for now. Blabber with the chase with the ball breaker, but he finds his mark. Thanatos trying to use the ultimate to get enough survivability here on the Renekton. Sven is also incredibly low. Everybody on Lyon still with plenty of HP, but they've lost their mid laner. Blabber's still looking for an angle, but Blabber gets tagged by Berserker. The Vi is just dead, but a beautiful seismic shove, and Berserker's gone too. Thanatos to the front line as Dokla lands with Grim Deliverance and leads the charge after the C9 lines. Sven still firing back with the Radiant Volleys. He rebuttals, he gets the root onto Isles, but the Solar Snare just doesn't have the range to follow it up. And Lyon...
Sven can no longer tank that Crystal Arrow, so it means he loses the flash. That is going to be a big deal potentially for these subsequent Dragon fights.
And they're going to teleport in. FaZe checking into the darkness.
Reaver's wall. Not going to find a whole lot. Lyon still trying to back away. Berserker gets tagged with a slow, but nothing more. Inspired clearing out some of the vision here in the banana brush. Very important when you're fighting around a dragon. All 5 alive on both sides. Saint still far away, back by the chicken pit on the Lyon jungle. As Thanatos wants to step forward, Dread Return going to grab him. Sven under pressure, Inspired going in after the enemy carry. Blabber tries to go after Saint, but he gets away between worlds. Thanatos has already killed Berserker though, and Lyon are in some serious danger. Inspired's already dead. APA goes on a killing spree, but now he's going to flash away. Otherwise, Dokla might have taken him out. The determination bar is full. Saint still trying to find a little bit more damage as Dokla keeps fighting. He'll finally get knocked down, but he'll come back with full HP. He tries to get a little bit more drain tanking. Dokla still very healthy. C9 might have got the extra kill, but their health bars are blinking red.
Lyon tried to flank around and put extra pressure onto Sven and try and punish this flashless Mel. It was even Inspired flashing in to go point blank on him, but they can't quite get him. Kiting from Sven, very nice. And Cloud9, they still have the Guardian Angel on Blabber, so they're going to start the Dragon up.
And one of the critical things is that Inspired is the one who died on the Lyon side. There's no chance to contest here with a smite, and that is Hex Tech Soul for C9 34 minutes into the game.
These fights are just insane this late.
Berserker at the very start, you saw the frustration on his face, and now C9 with their Hex Soul are starting to bear it.
Dokla is bot here. They're trying to force the TP out, And Sven completed his death cap, so he is super strong now with his soul and death cap.
Okay, here's the TP. Everybody from Lyon is ready to challenge for this, but Blabber might just die. Beautiful enchanted crystal arrow on the C9 jungler as Lyon nearly find the
Saint
pick.
is behind him.
Saint might just be able to knock him into the Guardian Angel at least. Blabber's gonna revive. Saint tries to get away. Sven's already down, and Saint will follow. Lyon looks for more. They know that Blabber is low, but it's still a 4v4 on the Rift. Thanatos trying to escape. He's got the dominance for the extra health for now. C9 managed to clear their retreat.
All the ults are down except for Zehen, except for Dokla. He can have a big re-engage. They're wrapping back around. Vision is on Baron. There's a control ward in the back.
They're just going to start it because Sven is down. That's the biggest poke for C9 here, and they still have so much consistent DPS with Berserker.
Okay, Blabber's starting the red, trying to just secure that one real quick, but the Baron is slowly losing HP, down to about half right now. Remember that Thanatos does not have the dominance ready to go. Dokla's going to be the target here of APA with the threaded volley as the Grim Deliverance from Dokla lands in the middle of everybody, but where's the damage? Thanatos has already died on the other side of the fight, but now Dokla's out of the picture here too, and Inspired is about to drop. A little bit more from Blabber, might get it done, but no, a double kill from Berserker with a focus fire. He's killing everybody. Arrow after arrow finds Cloud9, and Inspired will secure the last kill.
These fights being determined by the slimmest of margins. Both teams go after the enemy top laner there and barely being able to get the kill early. Trundle gets so big of a heal off of a dying champion, and that means Inspired's back to full health here after the scrap, getting the Baron on top of
Remember,
it.
he has the actualizer as well, so watch out for that second activation of that rock throw, that big rock with the actualizer and the death cap linked onto Dokla here. That is kind of the Bash Bros up at the front. He knows that Dokla is so strong and is trying to help him drain tank.
Okay, Cloud9 trying to back away a little bit now as Dokla goes straight in for APA. The Taliyah's under pressure, knocked up into the air, and Saint's already got the kill. Blabber's gonna die here second. The Guardian Angel will not protect him for long. Thanatos will die beside him as Inspired continues locking up the Cloud9 jungler. Sven's on the run and barely staying alive. Rebuttal keeps him going for a little bit longer as Berserker has to resurrect into the Guardian Angel, but Dokla is not done. Grim Deliverance will deliver Lyon to the nexus of Cloud9.
And it is Big Dokes who finds that pick. He goes on to APA with the dreaded return. His return to the LCS has been glorious, and Lyon will march on the Nexus.
They're making their way straight through the enemy base. The Elder itself is not required. A 41-minute battle ends in victory for Lyon, and they move to match point.
And what a play from it was really this matchup where you wanted to super bully and try to slam home these advantages through your sustain, just constantly chipping and poking and pushing in. But if you do not do that, Rek'Sai is just worth so much less than the Scion later on, so you have to dominate the lane.
And Rek'Sai rise.
Thank you, Kangas. I want to highlight two wards that are helping out with that. It was this mid lane
He's
ward.
behind him.
Hold on, Inspired is already making the play happen. The tackle into the wall is there, and it's first blood, and it's on.
And they do get the kill.
And look at that. That is some proxying going on for Dokla. He's cleared out the wave, and he's just going to execute now and then go back to base. So
approaches the banana brush. He just immediately drops Golden Aegis just in case Blabber is waiting in that brush. He can slow him down and potentially set up a play as Sven is under pressure. Berserker here with a killer instinct. Mom roars through, though, making sure Sven doesn't drop too low. Inspired, nice use of the Demacian standard to interrupt the recall from Blabber. Just kind of rock his tempo there a little bit, and now Inspired will begin the first Drake. Cloud Drake does a lot of DPS though, so generally if somebody else is in the neighborhood, that can get a bit dicey.
Yeah, I think Lyon probably wanted a little bit more out of their attempt at Sven, because Sven held his flash. He just uses his ult in response. Inspired, though, is still sticking around by this dragon, even though his mid laner is, you know, in base looking for teleports. I think Cassio just pinging she wants to walk, so.
Yep. And Inspired, you know, he first. So Thanatos is going to get another wave crashed into the turret as Blabber puts in the work here on the grubs. And I feel like normally we see whichever side gets the first dragon loses out on the grubs. This time, though, C9 is going to get all three grubs to be behind in that department as Isles and Berserker are still looking for more pressure onto the tier 1 turret. They might just look to go for the dive. Flash into the tackle. Keeper's verdict knocking APA straight up into the air. The greed was his demise. He wanted to stick around. He didn't respect Berserker and Isles enough, and Lyon get their kill.
And they always do this. You know, he's always Inspired, that is, trading, yeah, Dragon is going to come up in a couple seconds, so they're already making the move up to the top side. Inspired didn't even get there in time because Isles and Berserker take care of it, but they play to the top side. They drop. They're very comfortable.
That rod of ages, but is multiple stacks behind. And here's the replay of how he lost the HP.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. You know, you see them both. You're in their face, and almost 50% of his HP. He did have the potions running, so he obviously regained a little bit of that, but that was playing with fire.
Okay, the dive onto Dokla. The Scion is very tanky. Can C9 cut all the way through the health bar? Both Cyclones already used. Thanatos has to pop the ulti to drop the turret aggro. That is one of the strengths of the Rek'Sai, being able to do that with the turret dives. Meanwhile, over in mid lane, Lyon looking for some pressure of their own. Vulcan's Tempered Fate not going to find a target there, but it does buy enough time for Sven and Vulcan to survive.
And guess what? Where's Berserker? He's making money. Berserker on the bottom.
Just loves money.
The bottom side of the map. Guess what? That's another turret into that Kaza, guys.
Yeah, that is such a problem for C9. 1.6k ahead now. I mean, Sven has farmed well. Even on farm, you know, they died to that one gank, but so much gold going over to Berserker because of the dive top.
The items in these, brush camp.
Okay, APA, he smelled something afoot. He does detect it before the play gets made, as now Inspired takes a little bit of damage. Vulcan has to go on a magical journey, trying to get away, flashes away from Berserker. Now Inspired down to 1/3. But there's not enough firepower from C9 to try to finish him off. Realm Warp is going to send Thanatos forward, but he immediately has to turn back around. Tackle into the wall from the Poppy as Inspired goes in towards Blabber, who wants to look for Berserker. Damage from APA, but Berserker flashes out, and Blabber is going to be the only death here so far. The Rift Herald drives into Berserker, but it doesn't have enough horsepower. Vulcan hops out. He wants to get the kill, but he goes on a magical journey right back away as Isles falls to Thanatos. It's an absolute madhouse here in the bottom lane, and only one dead on either side.
And the entire time, it was a 4v5. Wait, Saint's not done.
We're not done just yet. Nice stun onto the minion there from Vulcan. Thanatos still waiting, but he has almost no HP. Sven has arrived into the fight. The Tempered Fate from Vulcan locking up the enemy. Cassiopeia stunned into the wall as Thanatos has the knock-up and a killing spree. Sven takes Inspired low. Not low enough just yet. Magical journey for the flash follow. Inspired wants to lock him down here with a Cataclysm. C9 doing plenty of damage, and Inspired dies. C9 are coming to life.
Vulcan heard you talking about Busio Bard. What about the Vulcan Bard? He is going crazy.
Okay, Dokla's made his way in now, though. Berserker nearly kills Vulcan with a Cathian Rain, but they want to turn their attention back over onto Sven instead. Dokla gets the shutdown, and Vulcan barely gets away. Thanatos using his network of tunnels like a pinball machine, and he gets their first Drake of the game. They will stop C9 stacking towards Soul, and now they don't want to allow Lyon to get any kind of a pincer attack. Defensive Tempered Fate coming out from Vulcan, but now he's in danger. Tries to get away through the magical journey, but it ain't gonna happen. Make it a 2 for nothing
Baron.
for Lyon as Baron
Re-engaged, but he's in the miasma, and he gets hit by the miasma. He can't get out of that. Then he's hit by the petrifying gaze. He's stunned up. He's knocked down. C9's 3 members trying to make something happen here, but Inspired is just going to finish it. They're looking for Sven.
There's the Keeper's Verdict immediately with Killer Instinct right after it from Berserker, and Sven's falls. C9, another punish from Lyon, another mistake from a C9 player results in another objective taken by Lyon. That gold lead that didn't exist just a minute ago is now...
This is my territory. And Isles here starts it out. Wait a second, bottom side now. They're going to make a play.
Yeah, they want to look for Saint yet again, but a flash away from the Cassiopeia keeps him alive for now. Dokla and Inspired ready to back up their mid laner as Thanatos is down to below 50% HP. Now Inspired re-engaging after the Rek'Sai. Dokla creating a lot of space here on the front line, and C9 are in full retreat. Another snot bubble from Sven to try to slow everybody down. Realm Warp for safety. Blabber with a defensive Cyclone means Inspired has to use his flash getting back away. Lyon wanted to play, but they couldn't find the angle. Blabber cast the second Cyclone there to chip away a little bit of Dokla's HP. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Okay, Dragon started up by Lyon. We talked about how it's big to have the Smolder 225 for the next Dragon fight, but even with that secured, C9 does not want to risk it here.
Covering this Rise split push at the moment. You see Blabber here trying to hover for him. He does get visual.
Okay, Isles with the tackle into the wall, but nobody's there to follow it up. APA exhausted, knocked up into the air by the Keeper's Verdict. Blabber's got to be careful trying to get away from this one, but Inspired chases after him with the dunk over the wall. That's Jungler down on the C9 side as Inspired gets back away, and Mom won't do a lot. Thanatos needs more damage to find the kill on Isles, but he does not have it. The execute won't do it. The tunnel over the wall to try to escape. Thanatos on the run, but Berserker's got that killer instinct. Lyon's AD carries on a rampage.
You can hover the split push, but Lion just send everyone. They run you right over. So many extra kills going through, and now they're blowing the game open. Berserker
Just pick up any random object in the garage and put it in her build. She has all sorts of options. Berserker's not going for really any of the AP options just besides the Ginsus this game. Instead, opting for more attack speed, opting for more damage, and it's because he has the ability to fire onto Thanatos and Blabber and APA, and he's jumping in again. Thanatos his target this time as the damage just pours through, and the Rek'Sai can't do anything. Meanwhile, C9 can barely knock Dokla below half HP. Lyon just walking away with that free kill.
And this is the thing that makes the gold lead lie to you a little bit, is that Dokla is worth so much more than Thanatos at this point. On one side, Dokla is just absorbing all of the damage, forcing the flash out of Sven, and on the other, Thanatos is just getting killed off so quickly.
Dokla still alive for now, very low. Does not want to attempt too much more.
Was kind of an afterthought. He has definitely had a huge impact in this game.
I mean, they have been winning the 2v2, and it's not just because of Berserker. Isles looking again.
Yeah, he wants that tackle. Vulcan gets away through the magical journey. Thanatos is going to be your target, but Sven also gets caught here by the decimating smash. Vulcan ends up locking up Sven, and now the Smolder is grounded. Another smash is going to knock him up into the air, but Mom comes in for the counterattack. Berserker's into the back line. He finds the kill into Sven, and he's going to get even more now. A double kill for Berserker, and he'll resurrect right after the fact. APA might have killed Isles, but he's got to try to get away. The Realm Warp is canceled by Miasma. A double kill for Saints, and Lyon is gonna march it down mid lane.
The Bartle from Vulcan catches Sven, and Dokla does not hesitate, flashes in, takes him out. Lyon have done it.
Lyon starting off strong here at the beginning of 2026. Their Swiss stage leveling up so much as they've made their way into playoffs. They had to run the gauntlet in finals weekend on Friday, on Saturday, and now against favorite C9 on Sunday. They will show that they deserve to represent North America at first stand. They will knock out the #1 team in C9, and Lyon are your LCS lock-in champions!
And well deserved. Through the lower bracket with back-to-back-to-back elimination series, they come out, they